Welcome back. As we promised, we are going to dedicate the remaining part of our breakfast show to shed more light on Decent Life Initiative. This initiative, which was launched by the political leadership and is targeting millions of Egyptians to raise the standard of living of each one of them across the country. To shed more light on the initiative and to speak more about its goals and the expected results, inshallah, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone Professor Dr. Youmn Hamaki, Professor of Economics and our economic expert. A very good morning to you, ma'am. Dr. Youmn, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? I think we do have some technical difficulties here, but we are speaking about the instructions or the presidential directives by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to the government to launch the second stage of Decent Life Initiative designed to provide better living conditions for nearly 18 million Egyptians and is targeting about 1,380 and maybe a little bit more than that villages all over the country. I think we do have once again Dr. Youmn. Dr. Youmn, can you hear me?
Yes, good morning.
A very good morning to you, ma'am. We are speaking about Decent Life Initiative, targeting millions of Egyptians. First, I'd like to have your vision regarding this initiative. Better late than never, or it's time, it's really time to tell every Egyptian citizen that he or she is a first priority when it comes to the political leadership.
Yes, I fully agree with you regarding the main goal of this initiative, which is when we are addressing approximately 5% of the population of Egypt. They are living in 4,000 villages that can be regarded as the poorest villages in Egypt. I believe that this is the message which is that you are, as Egyptians, we are under our care and we are looking for changing the quality of life for you. And I believe this is the most important message. Taking into consideration that this initiative is taking into responsibility a holistic approach regarding improving the services, sanitation, specifically sanitation services, drinking water, health services, educational services. What I would like just to emphasize as economists, and according to most applied researches about the countries that have succeeded to address poverty, on top of them China and India, according to studies that they have concentrated, these countries have concentrated actually on the economic empowerment of poor people. What I can see from this initiative is that the economic side is taking into consideration or is taken into consideration, but still we need to concentrate more on this side. Why? Because it is, the most important side that can guarantee the sustainability of the project.
Yes,
because when we would like to improve the quality of life for the half of the population of Egypt, the only way is to allow them to gain their lives by upgrading their capabilities and directing and coaching them to opportunities of job or to small and micro business so that they can generate their income.
This was my coming question regarding achieving this equation, this balance. Improving the standard of living or the life itself of citizens, meaning that they are going to be more healthy, meaning that they are going to be trained well to meet the requirements of the local market. They are not going to be a burden on the society. On the contrary, they are going to contribute in pushing forward our economic progress. How to achieve the equation or the balance between this and that?
Yes, this is a very important equation that we have to take it into our consideration. Why? Because when you as our experiences before of evaluating such experiences, we had a previous experience in Egypt about the 100 villages, combating poverty for the 100 villages. And according to our studies that have been proved that as you mentioned, when we talk about equation, when you go to such villages and you find that most services are very poor, you are starting to improve these services. On top of them, sanitation. All this is taking a lot of expenditures. And from here it comes that the trade-off between just spending in order to allow such services to improve the quality of such services from one perspective, and from another, improving the income of those people and upgrading their skills and taking them into consideration so that they can generate income to help in, in the improvement of such services. So this is a very important equation that we have to look on it and to manage it properly so that we can achieve, the prospected results.
Ma'am, Decent Life Initiative is considered a national project, and it's being implemented on scientific rules, scientific basics. I mean, there is first, second, third phase. More than 1,800 villages are being targeted by the initiative. To start with, about 377, the most needy villages. We already started with. How do you see launching this initiative on scientific basis after such research, after doing our homework, to start with those who really deserve to be started with?
Yes, I think we need a database. In Egypt, generally speaking, we're still lacking to have a database about our economic activities from one perspective, and from another about the situation of population, which means in details, for the details of the family. We have a very promising project like Takaful and Karama. We have several projects to address needy people. I believe that we need to concentrate on having more data and analyze such data so that to see what are the type of services, including economic empowerment, that can help into improving the quality of life for such families. So we have to approach this taking the family or on a family basis, improving the quality of life for families, which means that how the family is living, to how extent we have unemployed, concentrating on the gender perspective, women, the situation of women, to how extent girls are taking, the quality of education necessary for having an opportunity of job, the quality of food and diet systems they are taking so that to keep their health, to how extent we are using sport in activities, how to improve the cultural aspect in such families. This holistic approach, I believe, can be a very important basis to achieve our goals.
Very well said, ma'am. Professor Dr. Youmn Hamaki, Professor of Economics and our economic expert, thank you very much for your input, ma'am, and have a very good day. And worth mentioning that all these initiatives are being implemented while containing the repercussions of COVID-19 and while pushing forward our economic progress, while receiving all the time, thank God, reports from the IMF and from high-ranking international economic institutes praising the economic performance of Egypt, particularly in this very critical period in which the whole world is really suffering with the coronavirus. Well, by this we come to the end of this edition of our breakfast show. Stay tuned on Nile TV International always for more updates and for more details. Please log on to www.nileinternational.net. You were in the company of my dear colleague Amal Mukhtar and myself, Nermeen Abdurrahman. Many thanks for watching. Tomorrow is another episode.